Okay, guys. So hopefully everybody is able to see my screen. So just a recap of what we have done in the previous week, we talked about the DML statements and which is also called as data manipulation language. And the statements were like insert, update, delete, undelete, merge. Those were some of the statements that we talked about. The beauty of the DML is very simple, and one of the kind of side effect is you don't have a capability of partial success. Means if in a list you have 5 records and if one record is having an issue, none of those 5 records will get inserted or updated or deleted, because that's how DML works. So then Salesforce gave you another option, which is called as database methods. And today we will talk about database methods. And they're very similar, like the same methods that we had for DML, like insert, update. The similar ones you have here: database.insert, database.update, database.delete, database.upsert, and database.undelete. Now, looking at this method, a quick question. Let's start with Omar. Do you think insert here is a static method or a non-static method, looking at the way we are calling it?
It's a static method.
Very good, because it is based directly being called using the class name, which is database. And now each of these methods have a different return type. And I've already told you that if you want to look at the syntax or signature of a method, you can go to the official documentation of Salesforce, and that will help you understand what that method does, what parameters it takes, what is the return type, all of that. So in the case of insert operation, the database.insert, you will get something of the type database.of save result. Okay. Similarly, if you're doing an update, you also get something of the type database.of save result. So you have to remember that, okay, the output is going to be something like this. Delete is going to be delete result. Upsert is going to be upsert result, and undelete is going to be undelete result. Okay, so it's just whatever the method name is, similar to that, the result would be. Only difference would be in the case of insert and update, which is going to be save result. Okay, now let's go ahead and do an example. And one of the most important thing that database method does is this all or none parameter. So if this all or none is set to true, in this case what will happen, the partial success won't be allowed. But if it is set to false, the partial success will be allowed. Means if there is any issues, the remaining records will still get updated or inserted if you have set the all or none parameter to false. If it is true, it will pretty much behave the same way as a DML statement. Another beauty of the database method is that the return that they give you is of this type, and you can figure out what went wrong with that record and what was the error, how many of the records were successful. So it gives you a better description of the result, which you can use later on. So let's do an example here. So we have I'm trying to create an account record. So let's just go ahead and copy this. And you can see here, I am trying to create a account record. The name is Bright Future. Industry is consulting. And then we are using the insert method. And here all or none is set to true. It means that the partial success is not allowed. Then the return type that it gave you is of the type save result. And what you're doing is this save result class has a method called, if it is the result is successful, then it is going to go ahead and print insert account ID. So whatever account that got created, it will display the ID. If the result was a failure, means something happened, then the block will come over here and it will tell you what was the reason for the failure. So get errors method is there. It can be multiple reasons, right? So you're just printing the first error and message corresponding to that. Okay, so now if I go ahead and execute it right now, if you go to accounts records, you will see we have total of 15, and we don't have anything with the name Bright. And now if you go ahead and execute it, we will see the inserted account ID is this. So new account got inserted. And now if you refresh it, you will see there will be total of 16 accounts, and Bright Future Limited got inserted. Now in this case, if I try to remove the name field, and we just go ahead and try to put name as blank, and we're trying to insert a record, in that case it is going to give you an error message. So now the else block will get executed. So if I go ahead and hit the execute, you will see, let's see what's going on. Let me go ahead and do this. I have a debug message, so let's see what's going on here. Execute again. Okay, so it tells you, if you can see here, exception has been thrown. It gives you a insert failed and first exception, and it tells you what is the issue with this. And if you scroll to the right, it will tell you the required field is missing. And let me see if it prints any debug statement. So here, if I look for debug, we actually didn't get. Now because in this case what has happened is, because we haven't put this code in a try catch block, this particular statement threw an exception, and since it threw an exception, it basically ended the program abruptly. But if you put this in a try catch, so here if I go to the let me try this. I will talk about exceptions probably after we finish this. So here, if I go to the database.of_save result, Control X, we will put it in the try block, and let's say system.of_debug. Let's see if this works. Exception occurred, and exception E, and then here let's say we print e.of_get message, and that's it. So in this case, if an exception occurs, this catch block will be executed, and then it will continue with the remaining program. So if I go ahead and hit execute now,
When it is on the line 10, I think. Can you
yeah.
not able to just move the if block inside the catch?
No, ideally you shouldn't be doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and do execute. Okay, so now here, let's see what got printed. Okay, now it gave you the issue, what was the issue, and you can see here, first of all, this exception has occurred, and it told you the message associated with it, but still it hasn't come. If result is success, yeah, this is an exception, so maybe that's why it didn't even come here. Trying to see if there is an duplicate issue or something, I can invoke it, but that's fine. Once we talk about exceptions, then we'll take care of it. But basically what's happening is, since there is an exception occurring, it actually doesn't go into the it did went here, but the result dot of is success. Let's see. I'm trying to see, how do I get into this block, the else block. So we go to the insert statement, an exception has occurred, this is the message, and let's see what happens here. Okay, let's see what's going on here, and then we will click on execute. Okay, Why doesn't it go to the next line? Okay, that's why. So in this case, the result is basically null. So if it is null here, then it is going to give you over here also, it should be giving a null pointer exception. I'm not sure why it hasn't given. Let's see if that gives it. Because at this point also you're getting a null, and then you're doing a null dot of is success, and that will result into another exception, which is a null pointer exception. So let's see if that um, yes, you can see here again a error occurred, which is a null pointer exception, and that's why it hasn't gone into even this piece of code. So there are two exceptions that are occurring. We handled one exception over here, but this is also this one is also resulting into an exception, and that's why it didn't print any of these statements. Any questions, guys? So if you haven't understood the exception part, we will revisit it. But at this point, what happened is because we didn't provide any name, that's why the required field is missing. And since the required field is missing, it is not able to insert the record, and it is a critical issue. So that's why it gave an exception, and it prevented it to insert any record. So if you go here, we still will have only 16 records. Now moving on to the next example. This time we will do with the all or none. So in the previous, what happened was we set the all or none to be true. And in this case, we are trying to, let's see what we are doing. And somebody has to walk me through the example. Lohit, let's start with you. What's going on over here?
We're trying to insert 3 contacts.
Very good. Okay. And what do you remember? What is the required field on the contact?
I think first name and or last name.
Just last name, correct? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So we're
So
trying to insert. Do you see any issue with this record?
not on the first one, but the second one does not have a last name in it.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Then what are we trying to do next?
So, and we are also passing false as like whether we need to save everything or partial save. So false is basically gonna, I think, attempt to save 2 of them.
Okay.
No, I think it is gonna be partial.
What
It
is
is
all or
just,
none? What does all or none does?
it's gonna loop through all the records, all the complete 3 contacts within that list contacts,
Uh,
and it's gonna attempt to insert all 3 contacts. So the second one
okay.
basically fails,
Uh,
and I think it's gonna insert only one and exit right after the second one.
why do you say that?
No, I think it is gonna insert 2, and
Mm.
it's still gonna be successful, but it's gonna fail on the second one because it's on the loop for loop. It is gonna attempt for all 3.
No. So basically, what's going to happen is we are creating a list here, okay, and that list is of contacts, and all 3 contacts are in this contacts list. The only issue is the second contact in the list, which is this one, no last name, doesn't have a last name. So this will be causing an issue. But if you look at it, our parameter is all or none, and which is set to false. That means partial success is allowed, partial insert is allowed. So if out of 3 records, 2 are fine, one is having an issue, the 2 will still get inserted properly. Now what it is doing is it is capturing the result of this operation. Okay, and we are iterating over that result one by one. If that record got successfully inserted, then this particular statement will get executed. For the second contact, the result is not success, so it will come to this else block and it will tell you that, okay, this record got failed, and it will give you the reason for why that record failed. And then it will go to the third record, which is this one, which will be a success. So again, this statement will be printed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So result of I is giving you the result of this operation. Okay, so now here, if I go ahead and execute this, so make sure to save it, and then we will click on the, let me clean this, and then we click on execute. And you can see here, if I go to the debug, you will see the first record ID is this. So one record one contact got inserted. This is the failed record. At the second one is failed because it is missing the last name. And then the third one is your saved record ID of the second contact which got inserted. So Nina Patel and Sam Turner would be successfully inserted. So if you go here to the contacts, you will see Turner was one guy. So let me see the Turner. One second. It was Sam. So let's see, do we have Sam in here? Do I have a filter? No, I don't have a filter. Okay, Sam Turner, for some reason it didn't work. Sam Turner is there, and then the other one was Nina Patel. So this one also got inserted. So 2 records got inserted. Now, the problem will arise if you change it to true. Now, in this case, what will happen? Rahul, what's going to happen in this case if I change it to all or none to true?
So in this case, if any of the DML fails, then it's eventually gonna roll back all other insert. It's not gonna
Very good.
let it commit to the changes for all other records.
Okay, so now let's change this to from Sam we do to Ram, and Ram saying, let's say we do this, no last name, Jason, and then here we say Debina or Deborah. Okay, Deborah Johnson. Let's do that. Okay, so now here this is going to be and then this is going to be Deborah. So now what's going to happen if I go to this, how many contacts do I have? Will it change the number of contacts after I run this, or none of the contacts will get inserted?
It will not change.
Okay, so now let's go ahead and execute. And now in this case, what will be the output here? Anybody? Let's go ahead and execute it. Okay, so let me clean it up and see how does this behave. So here, I'm not going to open the debug. So here, if I go to system.of_debug, and let's see what is the result. Okay. And you can see here, after I executed it, we go over to contacts. None of the contacts got inserted. We still have 30 contacts. And let's print out, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And I'm going to go ahead and hit execute.
Results.
It's results. Thank you. I'm trying to see one problem in this file. So what is the problem? Okay, let's change this to false. And what does it say? Is there any extra space or anything? Email
Is it because we are printing the results, which is a list?
No, we can print the results.
No, I think near false there is a space.
Where
Yeah.
false?
Line 7.
But that should be okay.
That's I don't
Yeah.
think so. Can you click on the problems tab itself?
Oh yeah. No, but it doesn't have anything.
Oh, there is insert failed.
But that's from the previous one.
Line 7, column 1.
Okay, why does this? All or none is false. This will work. So I want to change it to true. And system.of_debug. Let's comment this piece of code for the timing. And I just want to print the what the result is. System.debug results are, and then we'll say results. Okay, and then semicolon over here. And why is it giving a red line over here? That's I'm trying to understand. First name is this, last name is this, email is this.
Previously it worked, right?
Yeah. Let's just look at the definition of database insert one more time, just to make sure. Okay, all or none, insert records to insert. Okay, so this is the one, adds one or more S objects, individual or context or organization data. All or none parameters specify whether the operation allows partial success. If all or none is set to false and a record fails, the remainder of the DML operation can still succeed. You must iterate through the return results to identify which record succeeded or failed. If all or none is set to true and the method is not successful, an exception is thrown. The default for the parameter is true. Okay, so in this case, if all or none is set to true and the method isn't successful, an exception is going to be thrown. And that is why it is probably doesn't work, because there is an issue here, database sort of insert, because I have set this up to true and this record pretty much is the one having the issue. So what I can do is I can try to give a last name here, and last name is equals to Smith. Now all three records have no issue. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. All or none is also true. And then we will hit and execute. Let's see what happens.
Click on output.
I think there is a space after list.
That wasn't there. So let's see if we execute it. It says line number. Oh, there is a 1 here.
There's one.
Yeah. So now Okay, so now here it worked fine. You can see here the database.save result error. So this is the complete output. Okay, get errors is blank. Then it gave you the ID of the first one, similarly the second one, and then the third one. So this is how it works. But if you had an issue with one of the record, at that point it is going to throw an exception. And since it threw an exception, it basically didn't even uh, gave you anything. So here, if I go ahead and remove this, so now if you go back, you will see 33 records. From 30, you will see about 33 records. That's correct. And then let's try to remove the last name. Right now, you're getting the debug statement because no exception was thrown. And here, let me also remove the debug filter. And you will see if I look for the word exception, is there an exception here? No, we don't have anything. And all the code successfully started, nothing so far going on. And now if I go ahead and try to do this, Justin, we go to Justin here, John, and here we will say Tony. Okay. And now at this point, I'm going to clean this and we will try to, all or none is true and one have an issue. So now in this case, you can see required field missing itself. So there is an exception and we don't have any try catch to handle the exception. And the exception occurred at line number 7. The moment the exception occurs, the program completely stops. So it never went over to line number 8. Okay. Any questions so far, guys? Can I proceed? Omar, Rahul, Lohit, who else do we have? Lena, Kalyani, anything, any questions so far? Okay, so that is your all or none. Now you can see here with all or none is false, valid records are committed to the database even when some fail. This is critical when you're doing bulk integration where partial success is acceptable because in the real world, you might be doing a batch job which inserts, let's say, 1,000 of records. And out of those 1,000 records, you have 10 records which are a fail or bad records. You still want to continue with your 990 records and let them get inserted and then figure out what went wrong with those 10 records. Okay. And through the one of the benefit of the database save result is it gives you back this results and it basically will tell you what is wrong with that record as long as you set up the all or none to false. Any questions, guys? Speak up because if I'll move on to the next thing. Okay, now we have another example here. And in this case, we will count how many were successful and how many failed. So here, if I go here and Lena, let's start with you now. What are we doing in this code?
With this one,
Yes. Yeah, take a look, take your time. Now in the lead, when you're trying to insert a lead, which is a required field? Do you remember?
last name and company.
Very good. Okay.
So the first one, it's gonna go in without any issues added to the database. Second one, yes. The third one is gonna fail.
Okay. So now in here, what is your all or none set to? What is the all or none parameter value?
It's gonna be false.
Yeah, all or none false. What is the meaning of the word false now?
So so one record failed, so it's gonna fail everything.
No.
No, not going to further. And it will enter the first two, but it will not allow the third one to go in.
Very good. So the two will get inserted, right? So
Yeah.
now you're iterating over the results. You will get back something in results for each record, what happened, right?
Yeah.
So then what you're doing is very simple. You are iterating over the results. So if you just want to see what is in results, you do a system.of_debug, and you basically print the value of the results. Okay, so this is how you do it. And it will tell you what exactly is in the results. And then you created two variables, success count and fail count. And these two variables are set to 0 at the moment. And then you are iterating over the results that came from this operation. And you are checking if it is a successful. Every record, there is going to be an entry in this result. So there are 3 records. So there's going to be 3 results. So if you want to get the size of the results, let's say we do system.of_debug, and we say results. Let me go ahead and results size, and then here if I go ahead and say results dot of size, and I'm expecting, because there are 3 records, for each record it is going to have a value associated. So if the result is successful, it is going to increment the success count by 1. Do you remember this plus plus operator? It increases the value by 1. If that record failed, it will go to the else block and it will increase the fail count. So once it has iterated over all the results, you are telling us how many records got inserted and how many failed. So now what will be the output here? In this case, how many records will be successful and how many failed?
2 and 1 failed.
Very good. So if I go here, execute it, and now before I execute it, let's go back to the lead records and see how many leads we have currently. We have total of 15 leads. So now if I go ahead and execute this, oh, wait a minute. Is plus. Okay. So now here we go ahead and execute. Okay. So now in this case, if I do debug, you will see these are the debug statements. Okay. So result size is 3 because there are 3 records. For each record, it will have a result value. And this is the whole results itself. So it tells you there are no errors. So for the first one, there is nothing, and it is success is true. For the second one, it is giving you an ID. For the third one, there is an error, and it is telling you that last name and this is the error. Last name is missing and company name is missing, and it is success is false, and there is no ID. So it basically gave you back the result of the complete thing. So when you don't know exactly what it is, so what you can do is you can do a debug statement and write that complete variable, and it will print the exact value of that variable in order to debug it. And then the inserted, there were 2 records, and failed is 1 record. Any questions, guys? I hope this was very easy to understand. Since I don't hear any questions, I'm going to move on. And then here we have a database.update is going to update the existing records. And in this case also, it will give you the result as in the save result is going to be the return type. And if you have all or none set to false, means partial update is allowed. If there is a record which failed, it will continue with the remaining update operation. So now we will move with somebody else who is going to explain this code to us. We're going to go ahead and do Control C. Who do we have here? Omar, why don't we start with you? So what are we doing here, Omar?
You have a SQL query to from the opportunity object.
Very
Our
good.
stage name is prospecting.
Huh?
Limit of 10 records.
So what this is going to do?
return the 10 records.
which are in prospecting stage, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so now here, let me just check. Do we have records which are in prospecting stage? So let's go ahead and do this for an export. We only have one record. Okay. So let's see. Let me change few things. Without this one, where do we get? Okay, so we do have a lot in closed one, and so why don't we do this? We change it to closed one. Okay, so we will go ahead and change this to closed one. Okay, now what's going on? Okay, continue, Omar.
So now we change the stage name to closed one.
So it is going to pull up all the opportunities which are in closed one, right?
Correct.
Okay, now what are we doing?
The that sets to false. So it'll
No.
attempt to.
No, what about this piece of code?
Okay, so any opportunities where stage name is qualification, we'll add 30 days.
No, look at it. So what is it? What is this for loop doing? What is OPPS?
Opportunities. No.
Which ones? This is a variable, right? What this variable holds.
Right.
So what does it hold? What is the value this variable holds? This is something, right? This will have some values. That's why you have a loop to iterate over those values.
Collection of opportunity.
Yeah. From where is the collection coming? From where is the collection of opportunities coming?
From this SQL query.
Very good. Excellent. See here, you can match it with the name itself, right? OPPS
Right.
is this one, and then this is also OPPS. So now this loop is going over every opportunity that is available in this. So there are how many opportunities in this, Omar?
10.
Very good. Then what is happening inside the for loop? Take your time.
Updating the closing date. Closing
Very
date,
good.
adding 30 days. Any opportunities, stage name is qualification.
No, see here, that's where you're wrong. So basically, it is fetching all the opportunities which are in closed one, right? Then it is going over each opportunity one by one, and it is saying, okay, it is updating, setting up a new value for those opportunity from closed one to qualification. That's what's happening. They're saying right now it hasn't been committed to the database, but you are setting up a new stage name for those opportunities that you retrieved from here. You're setting up the stage name to qualification, and the close date you are setting up to today's date plus of 30 days. So it would be around 24th of April. Okay, then this is where the update operation will actually commit this new change into the database. At this point, you are just doing a soft update. When do you know the meaning of soft and hard? Soft means you're just kind of putting it a new value, but it hasn't been committed to the database until you do this operation. Are you getting my point?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, so o.stage name is setting up a new value of stage name of these opportunities. So if you go here right now, if you see, I will go ahead and see where stage name equals to qualification. Okay, so now here if I do this, how many records do I see? Wait a minute. There's an extra. You see only one record, right? So
Right.
there's only one record which is in qualification. Now what happens is once I execute this, you have 10 opportunities. Now you have one record which is in qualification, and let's see how many we have in closed one. So here you have total of about 18 records which are in closed one. You are only fetching the 10 records. Okay. So now if I execute this piece of code, you are adding 10 more records into qualification. We will have total of now 11 records in qualification, and the closed one from 18, it will drop it to 8 records. And then you are iterating over this update operation. All or none is false means if there is any issue in updating any record, okay, continue with the remaining ones. And then at the end, it will tell you a count of how many records were successfully updated. Because you can see here, it is iterating over the results. It is checking if it is success. It is incrementing this variable, which is updated. So first time it will be 0, then 1, 2, 3, until it has gone through the complete list. And here it is going to tell you finally how many records were updated. Any questions?
Yeah, I understand.
Are you sure? If you want me to repeat, I can repeat it.
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Okay. So now if I go ahead, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So the is success is the Boolean value, right, of the
Exactly.
saved result, right?
Of each result. So basically, if for every so there are 10 records, right? So there would be 10 items in this results. For each record, there is going to be one record of save result. And for each record, there is going to be is success. Remember, I showed you, if you see here, database.save result for this, if you see here, this starts here, it ends over here. So that is one record. Second one, it starts here and it ends over, where does it end? So here, if you see, this is your results.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one here, then the second one is here, and the third one is here. So there are 3 records you were trying to insert in the previous example. Only 2 got inserted, but if you see here, each one has their is success. Is success is here. Then you have, where is the is success for the first one? Right here, is success is here. Okay, the last one doesn't have is success, it is equals to false. For the remaining, it is equals to true. So similarly, for each one of these opportunities, there is going to be a corresponding result. And each result will either be successful or failed. If it was in any errors, it will be failed. Otherwise, everything would be successful, and it was going to say how many records got finally updated.
Yeah.
So if I got it. So if I go ahead and execute this, you will see updated 10 out of 10 records. And now if I run the query, currently you see 18 records. I will update it, run it again. Those records will drop now, and you'll only see 8 records. And if I change the stage to qualification, initially there were only 1 record. Now you will see 11 records, because those ones which were in closed one stage has now been updated to qualification. And if you see here, their close date has been updated to 4/23, because this is what you are setting up in this method. So always remember, until you actually do update or anything, the things won't get committed to the database. At this point, you are setting up a new value, but the value would be actually committed only after this statement. Any questions, guys? Does everybody understood how the code works?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's move on to the next one here, which is a delete operation. So let's go ahead. And Rahul, did you do that merge thing? Remember you had a question the last time? Related to merge. Did you do that example?
No. So merge in the sense?
Remember, you had a question when we were merging two records from parent and a child, and all of that got copied over. You had a question that
Oh,
will it copy the related list, or will it also override the values from the fields into the parent? Did you remember that?
yes.
So did you do that example? Did you get any, or you didn't got a time?
No, I didn't get a chance.
Okay, that's fine. Try to get that done tomorrow if you can, because we also want to know what happened. Okay, now tell me what's going on over here. Rahul, let's start with you.
Yeah, so here it is, the database delete is false, which means that if
No, start from here, from the line number 1. What's happening at line number 1?
Oh, okay. Yeah, the line number 1 is just filtering out the records that I want to delete.
So
And
what is the condition here?
the condition here is converted to true, and only fetch 20 records that matches this condition. If there are more, just take just 20. If it is less, then it will take the less. But if it is more, then up to 20.
Okay. So now let's go ahead. Okay, go ahead. What's the next thing?
And have that list of records. Try to delete that with the condition either all or none. So which means that it is set to false. That means that if any of the records doesn't get deleted, continue to delete other records.
Very good. Partial, it will work, yeah.
Get a partial allow. And now it is filtering out based on the number of rows that was returned, number of records that was returned. So in this case, let's say that 20 maximum. So starting with 0, it will fetch the first record. And for the first record, whether the first record got deleted or not, is gonna return that, whether it is successful or fail. So if it is successful, then deleted records is gonna only print the last name of it.
Very good.
But if it fails, it's gonna go to the else because it is successful. Is success is gonna be false. It's gonna go
very
to
good
condition,
Rahul,
and that is it couldn't fail for the last records, and it will again iterate for the next record, because there could be possibility some records which did not get successfully deleted, but those are returned by the flag is success false.
Very good. So now, it will continue. Now if I let me see if this query returns me anything, first of all, before we continue.
But if it was set to true, then it will never come to that.
Yeah, because it will basically try to fail. We don't have anything.
Yeah.
Where is converted is equals to false. Okay. Yeah, so if it is converted is equals to false. So now here, how many records do we have? 20 records we have. And let's say we do it only 5 records, okay? And is converted is equals to false. So now in this case, it is going to fetch 5 lead records, which are converted is set to false. And then it is doing a deletion on them. So right now, how many records you see? 20 records. It is going to delete 5 right away. If there is an error, it will continue with the other 5 other records.
If we really want to test it, do you think that would be a good idea to test with a true first? Because it's not going to delete all if there are some records are set to true. Okay, there is no records. There is nothing true. Okay.
Yeah. So there is nothing that isn't true. So here, if I go ahead and am expecting the number to reduce to 15. Okay, so now here,
I think on your query, you still had limit 20. You may have more than your on the inspector.
oh, thanks. Let me see.
Should we do a debug statement
Wait till 24.
Just before we run that the delete statement? So
Okay, what do you want?
Debug on converted lead count or the size.
It's going to be 5 right here.
No, okay, there is a 5, but I was wondering that before. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we
Because
cannot
I don't
delete.
want to delete everything, right? Majority of all the records have it's converted to
Yes.
false. That's
So
why I
you
said
want to see 7 as a true? Here false we have written, right? That's what you are telling, Rahul?
No, yeah. I was trying to get the all count, but if the limit is already set, we cannot get the all count. So anyhow, because limit is set to 5. But yes,
because
that
if
is
I
true.
remove the limit, it's going to pick up everything and it is going to delete all the lead records, which I don't want.
Right.
I mean, in what are the chances of like delete is failing in this anonymous block?
So if there is a trigger or if there is
okay.
a flow which kicks off a validation, that is going to fail it.
Okay.
You remember if there is a validation
Got
that,
it.
okay,
Yeah.
if this lead is tied or is somehow it is, you can't delete it, or there's a validation being thrown, then you won't be able to delete the record. And then in that case, it's fine because we do have all or none to false. It will skip that and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, so now if I go ahead and execute it, we had total of 24 records, and these are the names of the lead which got deleted. And if I go here and execute it, I'm expecting only 19 records. 5 of those got deleted. Okay, and you will see them in the, where will you see them? Remember, where will these deleted records go?
Recycle bin.
Very good. So it's going to go ahead and go over to the recycle bin, and you will see all those lead records are available here. So very simple. And then next go to the, any questions? Okay, so now let's go. Now we have, remember, database.upsert. Now upsert would be basically will be a combination of update or insert. Means some of the records can be an insert if they were not found. Otherwise, it would be an update operation. We can do this tomorrow because I do feel there's an issue here. This one is all going to be an insert because it doesn't found a matching ID, so it can't figure out on what basis you're doing it. So I have to update this code. So I'll continue from here, and this should finish by tomorrow, and then we will go ahead and do the exceptions also tomorrow. So don't miss the class for tomorrow because we will be covering this and exceptions as well. Any questions from today's class, guys? Are you finding the pace okay? Do you want me to change anything? Please provide me feedback so I can work around it.
Pace is still fine, Deepika, but I just have one question. I know you said like it's going to take a month, I guess. Are we still targeting a certain date to finish everything?
See, guys, to be honest with you, we only had about 14 classes so far. This is the 15th one. So I think with another 15, we should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just planned for a vacation for 1 week. So that's the reason I was asking.
When is that vacation?
I will be out in TDX.
Oh, you're going to TDX. Okay, it's in April 17th or 18th or something, right?
I think it's on the week of 14th.
Okay, so 14th. We still have some time. Okay, I have another question. Hopefully that should be okay. And I do have another issue with you. I have something on Thursday. I have two options. I can take a class on Friday at 8 o'clock if you want, or I can take the class at 9 o'clock on Thursday. I don't want to skip one more class because we already took off on Monday. So which option will be better? I'm going to start a poll tomorrow. So
Okay.
either Friday at 8 o'clock or Thursday at 9 o'clock.
Is that like you're specifically talking about that week?
That just this Thursday, coming Thursday, 26th.
Oh.
Yeah. So tomorrow we'll have class as usual at 8 o'clock. But on 26th, either I can do at 8, probably around 9 o'clock. I can do the class, or I can do Friday at 8 o'clock, or Friday at whatever time. It doesn't matter. Friday I'm free.
I'm fine at 9.
Okay, fine.
Let's check with others too.
Okay, so I'm going to send a poll because it'll be hard for me to know what's going on. So let's see if 9 o'clock works for everybody on Thursday, then we can continue our class on Thursday.
Okay.
Do everybody please do respond to the poll. That way I'll be able to figure it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys. And I will talk to you tomorrow, and I'll send you the recording by tomorrow morning.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
So will you share the document, Deepika?
The one that I have it, is it not on the drive? Let me do it right now. Let me see. I'm gonna create a new notes folder, to be honest with you, because I do have here. Let me go ahead and do a file upload. And here we do go to weekend notes. I believe this should be it. Okay, it's there now. Okay, guys, these are the new notes I have. The old might not be, was from the previous batch. So you can ignore those and stick to these ones.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys, thank you. Have a good night. Take care.
Thanks.